Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another video, and on today's video I'll be telling you guys as something that happened to me. So like, it's a story of what happened to me yesterday. Actually, it's so scary, and I'm still in shock, but like, I'm like, okay, fine, let me just tell you what happened. Anyway, so yesterday I got back from work and I was like, okay, I actually need a few things from Pick n Pay. And remember, I wanted bread and like yogurt and milk and I don't know what else, but like I just wanted a few things and I'd written them down. I'm like, okay, since the following day is going to be obviously Saturday, I was like, let me go get these today while it's Friday, because I keep the Sabbath, so meaning I can't buy and stuff like that on Saturday, or from Friday sunset to Saturday sunset. So I'm like, cool, let me get this out of the way, so on my Saturday I can keep the Sabbath, be nice and, you know, calm and chilled in my room, don't have to go anywhere. Cool. So then I come back to my room and I take my cards and everything that I'm gonna need, and I head out to Pick n Pay. Get to Pick n Pay, not a problem. Start shopping around, out here pushing my trolley, like getting the things that I need. And like after like probably like 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the into me shopping, I met this woman. Actually I was taking, like, I think I was taking baked beans or something, and she was in the same, like, she was actually next to me, and then she starts making conversation with me. I mean it's normal for people to talk to you when you at the shops. I mean, someone will be like, oh, have you know, what can I use for this and that, and you're like, oh, I use this, maybe you can try that. I mean, it's normal to talk to people, but that was where that is where it all went south. That is Anyway guys, so she starts saying to me, because like with me, I'm quite a frugal person. I'll be making more videos about that, like being frugal, saving money, all that type of stuff. But I consider myself a frugal person, and so I don't just buy stuff. I literally, of course I'll buy quality things, but at the same time, for me, it's not about status, it's not about, like, I literally, when I go shopping, I write things down and I look for, like, obviously I'm not gonna eat crap food or whatever, but like I will look like at where can I save, like where, even if it's 1 rand, 2 rand, guys, I am that girl. I am frugal. But anyway guys, so like I'm looking at the price, I'm like, okay, which one should I take, whatever. And she's out here like looking at me, she's like, your things are expensive, hey? I'm like, yeah, things have gotten really expensive. And she's like, she's an old lady, not like old, but like she's a middle-aged woman. Like you wouldn't expect her to do such things. But anyway, she says to me, for example, I use this olive oil to cook, and it's like 90 rand, so it was 89 rand, something like that, and it's so expensive. Oh my god. I'm like, wow, yo, Mina, I use canola. I'm like, why don't you rather use canola? It's still healthy, but like it doesn't cost as much as the olive oil. Why don't you try that instead? Because you're out here complaining about things are so expensive, so why are you using? She's like, no, I'm so used to it, you know, I'm so used to cooking with olive oil and whatever. I'm like, okay then girl, fine, you know, like keep it pushing, do what you gotta do, buy the things you're used to buying, and then cool. Like, okay, it's fine. Okay, I continue like taking stuff, oil, taking this and that, and she just keeps hovering around me. She just doesn't want to leave. She just wants to continue the conversation. And she goes, oh my god, I also want to buy meat, what and she says, you know, there's a lady that works here at Pick n Pay, she's my friend or cousin, sister or something like that. She says for this oil that's 89 rand, like because she works here at Pick n Pay, this sister, cousin, sister or friend of hers, she will get it for her using points or something like that, a staff card that Pick n Pay cashiers or whatever use to get half prices. Then she says to me, you know, this oil, it's 89 rand, but because my friend works here and she has the staff card for discounts and whatever, she'll use her points and she'll get it for me for 40 something rand, like half the price of the actual oil. I'm like, okay, cool, that's nice. I'm like, so what must I do with all this information? But like, I'm not saying that here, but in my head I'm just like, so what exactly do you want me to do or say? I'm like, okay, cool, that's nice. I'm like trying to get away from her, pushing my trolley. And she's like, don't you want, like, how many things do you have in your trolley? I'm like, yeah, I'm not like coming to do groceries. I'm just getting a few things that I'll get like weekly, things that run out, like yogurt and like, you know, milk or whatever. I'm not like doing lots of shopping. So she says, oh, you know what? She looks at my trolley and she says, we can get these things for you. Like, you could literally pay half of this for all these things that you've got. You don't have to pay for everything. And guys, the problem is it didn't start there when she told me I could get the stuff for half discount and whatever, because I don't care. I literally budgeted for this. I know I have the money to buy these things that I'm coming to get. I'm not complaining to anyone that these things are expensive, because that's what I need, that's what I came to buy. So I knew I was prepared to pay for it. I think the moment I talk to her, they use a muti or something of some sort. The moment you talk to them, girl, your brain starts feeling dizzy. You just start feeling weird. You want to sit down. It's such a weird experience, but I can't even describe. But I felt dizzy the more I talked to her. And I remembered one friend of mine. We were in matric. Was it 2012 or 2013? We had gone to Applied Vets, and we, obviously from a small town in Heidelberg, we had to take taxis to go to Joburg, and apply and whatever. And she was like, girl, when we get to Joburg, do not talk to anyone. She says people will literally rob you like daylight. They don't even have to use violence or anything like that. They will talk to you. When you respond back, your money will be gone. Your items will be gone. You will give them your stuff voluntarily. But anyway, I digress. Back to my story. So I feel like the more I interacted and talked to her, was the more I was getting dizzy and just getting a little bit what's the word I'm looking for, not so in touch with reality. I was just slowly dozing off and whatever. I could feel it, and I was standing. I'm like, okay, I want to sit. I just felt a little bit dizzy. But she says, anyway, let me call this friend of hers. Let me call her, and she'll come and take our trolleys and put them aside for us, and then she'll calculate the points that she needs to use for both our trolleys. And then I don't know what else she said after that, but anyway, she says she calls this friend comes, and she's wearing all black, black t-shirts, black jacket and black jeans. And I'm like, if you work here at Pick and Pay, even though I'm feeling a bit dizzy and whatever, I was still alert a little bit. I was still asking them questions. I'm like, how come you're wearing all black? You're not wearing Pick and Pay uniform, but you work here. Then she says, oh no, I was packing stuff, and I spilled some flour and I don't know what else on myself, so I had to take them off, and that's why I'm just only wearing these. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, what's your name, just in case anything happens? See, I was still a bit alert. So I'm like, anyway, what's your name, just so anything goes wrong, you guys trying to rob me. If you know me, I'm a straight talker. I don't sugarcoat things. I just can't. I'm not made that way. I can't sugarcoat things. I will tell you exactly what I'm thinking. I will tell it to you straight up. So I'm like, what's your name, just in case anything happens and you guys are thinking of robbing me or whatever. What's your name? And she says, my name is Gugu. I'm like, okay, Gugu. Then they say, let's go outside and to calculate these points and whatever. I'm like, why do we have to go outside? We are inside Pick and Pay. Why do you guys want to take me outside to calculate these points and whatever? And she says, oh no, because if I talk to you inside the store, they'll be asking me why am I just talking with the customer and not doing my work and whatever. I'm like, okay, this is weird. But I'm like, okay. So we go outside. Anyway, not too far, because I'm like, let's stand outside the door at Pick and Pay. She says no, because the security is there and everything. I'm like, I feel much safer because the security. So if anything happens, securities are just right here watching us. They'll see that. She says no, because then they're gonna tell people, that I'm not doing my work and whatever. I'm out here talking with customers during work hours and whatever. They're like, let's go around the corner and go by Woolies, Woolworths. Let's go stand there and then we'll talk. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go with you guys. Mind you, I'm still feeling dizzy and whatever they're doing to me. So the more I talk to them, the more I'm feeling dizzy. I actually said, let's sit down, guys. So sit down outside Pick and Pay. There's a low chair just right outside the door. I'm like, let's sit here. And no, let's go to Woolies and count and this and that. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I don't know you guys that well. I can't just trust you guys to go with me and calculate whatever you want to do with me. So then I'm like, fine, if you guys have to calculate, you have to do whatever you have to do, you can go, you will find me. When you come back, you'll find me sitting here waiting for you guys. I sat outside the door because I'm still feeling dizzy, I'm weak, I want to sit down, I'm not feeling so well. I sat and they went wherever they went, if they even went somewhere. But like I sat down, like trying to regain strength and like just process what's happening, because like I'm feeling numb and dizzy and whatever. And I actually like muttered some strength to actually get up, and I went inside Pick n Pay because I was right outside the door. I went in. I'm like to the security lady who's just right by the door. I'm like, is there a Google that works at Pick n Pay? She says, yes, we do have a Google. I'm like, Google's telling me this, and that. I tell her the whole story. And right as I'm talking, the real Google, who's the cashier at Pick n Pay, walks in. And the security is like, this is the Google, is this the Google you're talking about? I'm like, no, Google did not look like this. I'm like, oh my goodness, I have been played. This is not the Google. Then I start telling Google exactly what happened, the real now cashier at Pick n Pay. I tell her what happened. And she's like, oh my god, that is scary and whatever. Then I'm like, okay, you know what, guys, let me try, because now I'm trying to get them to be caught, like, because clearly they're robbing people. So I'm like trying to catch them. So I'm like, Google, give me your number quickly, I'll save it on my phone. I'm still feeling numb and dizzy and all of that, but I'm like, okay, give me your number. She puts her number, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go to Woolies, because they said let's go to Woolworths, then we're gonna count whatever. And I'm like, I'm gonna go like get them there and be like, hey guys, I'm still waiting for you. In the meantime, when I come back with them, I was gonna secretly like just quickly call this call Google and tell them, okay, wait with the securities for us inside. Like as we come in, I'll bring them in, like we still come and walk together. Yo, I went to Woolies, looked for them. There were no. Oh, actually, guys, I forget one important detail. Before they left, I think this is why they left me, because otherwise they would have taken me with you. I think this is why I was like, this is getting weird, and I'm not feeling so well. Obviously, like I'm getting dizzy. I'm like feeling weak by my knees. I want to sit and whatever. At that moment, my brain told me, girl, like call someone, do something. Like this is getting weird, just in case like they kidnap me or they take me somewhere. Then at least I would have called someone, and someone would have known something about my whereabouts or like what had happened, like, you know. So then I decided to call my friend. So like we're sitting outside with this woman, and the other Google lady was like still inside Pick n Pay. She was gonna come out and go with us wherever. So I'm still sitting with this other older woman, and I quickly actually call my friend Zinhle. I'm like, I act like Zinhle's calling me. I'm like, hey girl, how are you? And Zinhle hadn't even picked up the call. She actually messaged me right after to say she was actually in a meeting, but I was talking to myself on the phone, just acting like I'm talking to her. So I'm like, hey girl, so what did you say you want here at Pick n Pay? You said you wanted it's kaftina. What is kaftina now, guys? A tin container. I'm like, which one did you want? The round one? Is it the one with the blue lid? And what? I'm just talking to myself. I'm like, oh, okay. You know what, girl? I can't find it. Why don't you come? Because you're literally like 2 minutes away. Why don't you come? And actually, I was planning on buying like a few things, but I've actually got like 2 or 3 plastics now, so I need your help. So please come so that you can help me, you know, with the stuff. It's getting a bit much for me. I was just making up a silly story just for this woman to hear that I'm calling Zinhle to come. So I'm like, okay girl, fine, you're gonna come in the next 2 minutes. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you're gonna find me inside Pick n Pay. I'm at Pick n Pay, so if you need me, I'm at Pick n Pay. Just, you know, we'll get what we want and leave. I'm like, cool, you're coming in the next 2 minutes, you promise? Sure, okay, you'll find me at Pick n Pay. Got the call, and the younger lady comes out, and then she's like, oh, and the older one now tells the other one. She says, oh, she called her friend Zinhle. Zinhle is coming to help her with her shopping. So Zinhle is coming and whatever. And they're like, okay, let's go to Woolies. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go. So then I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go with you guys. They left. And as I said, now I told the securities, I went inside, took Google's number, told the securities, and I went to Woolies to look for them. And the Woolworths here is so small. It's literally like a little tiny box. Like I looked in all the aisles and there were nowhere to be found. They literally left. They ran away because because I had said to Zinhle, like I called Zinhle and I talked to her and I said, come to Pick n Pay in the next 2 minutes. You're gonna find me here. What? And they probably saw me when I talked to the securities inside Pick n Pay as well. Because the moment they like went, like, because there's a Pick n Pay and then there's a few shops, the moment they like got out of sight, I quickly went into Pick n Pay and told the securities like of what's going on, because I was telling them I'm not feeling well, like I feel dizzy and this and this. I was telling them what's happening. And so they probably saw me also doing that, and they left. They vanished into thin air, guys. And I'm sure maybe they went to the bathrooms or something, but I was not gonna go look for them there. Who knows, they would have finished me there. So I was like, if they're not a bullies, they're probably, like, I don't know how quick they might have disappeared, or they went into the bathroom. But I was like, I'm not about to go fetch them, because you never know what else they can do to me, because I was already feeling dizzy and weird and weak and whatever. Anyway, guys, I was like a crazy person. I was telling everyone what's going on, because then they took my trolley. So now I went inside Pick n Pay to look for my stuff, and I don't know where they put the trolley, because I was looking at the bag, all the aisles, and I couldn't find it. And I'm like looking in each aisle, and then there's a lady who's a packer. She's like, what are you looking for? Are you lost? Are you looking for something? I'm like, no, I'm looking for my trolley. And then I start telling her what happened, like this and this and that. She's like, oh my god, that's scary. They do that all the time. Go tell the manager and tell everyone. Like, I went to the manager, told them what happened. They're like, thank you for notifying us. We'll look at the CCTV footage and what. Like, and then I went back, because I wanted bread and rolls, I think. I went back to the bakery, and I'm like to the lady, can I please have 4 rolls again? She's like, you again? She's like, you did like buy 4 rolls. Why are you buying them again? I'm like, girl, you don't know what happened. I got robbed, and I didn't get robbed actually, but they wanted to rob me inside the store. I tell her what happened, and she's like, oh my goodness, it's been happening a lot lately. And there's even one lady who they took her like money, like 50,000 rand. She had come to deposit money or whatever. They did the scam with her. They took all her money. She wanted to kill herself. She was so, like, she was just like distraught, like she was just shame, man. I feel so sorry for her. But like, they were like, yeah, it's happening a lot these days. There's this one guy, they also took his car right outside the store. Like, it's crazy, guys. But like, I was like, what did this happen? And I think what also helped me is the fact that something like this has happened to my aunt before. Like, literally, they talked to her, they drugged her off using this muti. You don't see it, but like the moment they talk to you, you just start to just feel a little bit like dizzy. You feel like weak at your knees. You just want to sit down. You don't feel so well. And the one old lady kept asking me, like, while we're standing together, just like, are you fine? Are you fine? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. Why? I think she was just searching. She was just trying to find out, like, how dizzy am I feeling? Has it worked yet? Has it not? How far is it? Like, and I was just praying, guys, the whole time. Like, I'm a Christian and I believe in God and like God's power and protection. And I was just praying the whole time. Like, something in my mind was like, this is not right. Like, I was just like, something kept telling me, pray. And I was praying, and I was a bit more alert, because like I said, something like this happened to my aunt before, where they talked to her and whatever, and they literally drugged her off. She was off, and she literally gave them her cards, her pins, and they took money. And like, these people are scary, guys. Like, it's scary. But like, anyway, guys, I just wanted to say, you know what, I think I'm gonna be more cautious this time. Anyone who want to talk to me, girl, bye. I am not out here to talk to you. I am not out here to converse with you. I'm out here to shop. But anyway, guys, and I was like, when I got to my room, I literally like went to sleep. Like, I couldn't even like eat or nothing or watch anything. I literally dozed off. I like just passed out, and then I woke up at like 8:08, 9, and then I called Zinke, and I'm like, okay, come, let me tell you what happened. And guys, but anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys my story, and just to say, be careful out there. These people are in the stores, and they obviously masquerade, and they come in as customers, so there's no way that the securities or that they can see, go to this person is gonna rob people, because they walk in like, as customers, we all like looking just like customers. You can't say, oh, this one is the potential skebenga or whatever. So like, you just walk in and you look like a regular customer. But guys, I was just shook by this whole experience. I was like, what is this? What? Like, I never thought it would happen to me. But guys, anything, these people are just, we wake up every day to go to work and hustle and get our money. They wake up every morning to come work on us. They want to get their money from us. They want to get all they want from us. But you know what, that's not the point of the story. Anyway, guys, I hope this video is gonna help you to be this is Joburg. People do not play out here. They will rob you in daylight, in front of the people. People will walking past you and they won't even help you. They won't even say anything. And guys, it's scary. It's scary. But anyway, guys, I hope you learned something from my video, and I hope you can see how much God protects us. For me, like, I believe really it was God's grace and that God came through for me. I was so grateful. I'm like, thank you, God. I don't want to imagine what would have happened if they had completely, dozed me off and taken me somewhere or took all my stuff, because I was wearing a denim jacket and my phone was inside. Like, when you open it was inside the jacket, so nothing was on my pocket, and I had a little handbag and there was nothing on the bag because my cards and everything on my pocket, and my phone was inside my denim jacket. So even if they would have taken the bag, they literally would have found lip gloss, and that was it. There was nothing like valuable in the bag. I just carried the bag just to look cute, just to but otherwise there was nothing in it. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed my story. Please like the video, comment down below, and definitely share and subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.